May 11th, 2010. That was the date when I first created my Facebook account. I was 9 years old and I used a fake year of birth to be eligible to create one. I was one of the first few people in my friend group to have a Facebook account. Later, even Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. So, literally, more than half of my life has gone by consumed by social media. But in December of 2021, something happened. I completely swore off all of my addictions, drug and social media. If you're interested in the events leading up to it, I'll link a video over here. Press the I button for it. So, after 11 years and 6 months of intense, passionate indulgence in social media, I finally put it down. I put it down and I didn't look back. The following months were the most productive, most purposeful, most mindful months of my life. I completely got over my social media addiction. I didn't even think about it for the most part. I forgot what life was like with this dopamine spiking activity ingrained in it. But recently, I found an excuse to indulge again. I'd just given an exam, the IELTS, and I'd been on top of my shit for the past multiple months, and the exam went by brilliantly as well. So I convinced myself that I needed a break. I came back home from the exam and I downloaded Instagram. Over the next few days of overindulgence, I'll admit, there's a lot of small little weird things that I noticed. All of this time away from this drug had given me perspective, and it's my biggest, most surprising realization that I want to share with you today. We all know that we waste multiple hours of time and mental energy by sitting and scrolling through these platforms, right? But here's the thing, that's not the only time and mental energy you're wasting. Your social media consumption does not exist in a vacuum. Let me put it this way. If you sit and scroll through social media for 2 hours a day, that's not the only time you're wasting. You're not just, the cost to you is much more than 2 hours of your time. Here's where my thousands of hours of meditation comes into use. You see, I've spent the past 10 months consistently meditating, developing my self-awareness, becoming more and more aware of the thoughts that that emerge from my mind. Ever since the detox, most of the times when my mind was free, most of the times when my mind was idle, I would be thinking about some video that I want to make, some idea that I've been invested in, some quote that I read in a book, some change that I've been meaning to make, some realization that I had about how to spend my days more productively, or even just plain simple gratitude for the little things in my life. What I realized was that ever since I downloaded Instagram, instead of all of these thoughts, not just some of the times, all of the times, every free thought of mine would be about some short that I saw, some reel that I saw, some video, some meme. Let's talk about what this means. What are the consequences, the repercussions of this happening? You see, your thoughts are what make you you. Your thoughts are what define you. When you look up to somebody, it's their thought process, their mindsets, their thinking that you're looking up to. What am I doing with these videos that I'm making? What are you gaining out of watching these videos? With every next video, I share more and more of my thought process with you. With every next video, you understand more and more how my brain works, what kind of thoughts I have. And the more of my thoughts you listen to, the more of my thoughts you internalize, the more our thinking converges. The more your thinking becomes similar to mine until you reach the point where the two of us would react to a situation in exactly the same way. Your thoughts are you. Take a man's thoughts away from him, and there's nothing left of him. And that is exactly what social media is doing to you. Your thoughts are what help you decide what you want out of your life. And so your thoughts are what help you, or your thoughts are what make you set goals in the first place. Your thoughts are what bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be in life. Your thoughts are what recognize that what you're doing today isn't good enough, and so they push you to do better. Your thoughts are your only source of motivation and inspiration and discipline and dedication and everything else that you need to ever make something out of yourself. What social media does is it hijacks your thoughts such that all of your free time, all of your mental space just goes into thinking about the content that you consumed on social media. What social media does is it infests your mind. It is essentially a virus designed to rid you of free thought. Do with that what you will, but please take a little time to think about it. Take a little time to think about this, let that sink in, and then do with this information what you will. Just please don't click off to the next video right away, or else you might not be able to think about it after all. I'll leave you with that.